All right, so do another video here on the latest upgrade. I wasn't gonna film this because there's already YouTube videos on pulling the steering wheel, but there's only a few, and this seems like a really nice upgrade. So I have the SR5, and it comes with this foam, dense foam steering wheel, and it started to wear off on top. Hard to see in the picture there, but anyway, just cheap. So found this, got this one on eBay. I did the best offer and I got it for around, I think $215, and it shipped when I got it Car Trim Home, but on Car Trim Home's website I didn't see this one. I didn't want the red line that a lot of these have, because then if my steering wheel was off a little with alignment, I'd see that and it would drive me nuts with my OCD. So I wanted one that was all black, and it has perforated leather. It looks really good. So next step is going to be like you see in other videos. You get this panel off here, and then the same panel right there, and then you're going to undo the screws for the airbag and pop that off. You definitely want to make sure that you take your ground off, and some people say leave it off 15-30 minutes. So I'm going to do that just to be safe with these airbags, and we'll be back. All right, so now we've got those covers off, and the next thing is these right here. There's one on each side, and that's gonna hold the airbag in where your horn is. Okay, so once you get the Torx screws undone, they ended up being a T30 Torx. I know on some other videos they were saying it was a different size. One was a T30, one was like a T28 or something, but it's T30. So now when you're in here, you got to disconnect the airbag. So you've got 3 connections. This little yellow tab pulls up on both, and then these pull straight out. And then there's a ground down here as well. Over here, you're going to disconnect these 2 white ones. The yellow is going to stay, so you're not going to remove that. Once you get these unclipped, again, they pull straight up. Just make sure you have the yellow tab pulled up, and then the ground comes right off. So at this point, you've got these that are connected to your clock spring. You don't want to mess with this clock spring when we get this wheel off. Like somebody said on another YouTube video, don't even look at it. Things like $700 to replace. So you got to undo the 2 white clips, so that way the steering wheel can pull clear. That's a 19mm nut, and I'm going to use my impact to get it off. So it should come off nice and easy. All right, at this point, I just knocked it loose with a cordless impact. It was very easy. I held the steering wheel, and it just took 2 taps. And now, on advice from another YouTuber, I'm going to leave this nut on so it catches the wheel, and I'm going to yank the wheel toward me with both hands. And then that way it doesn't hit me in the face. Because of the other video I watched, the guy ripped it off, and all these wires, he almost ripped them out. So I recommend you put the nut back on if you don't have the steering wheel puller, and let's see if it works. Okay, so yanking on it did not work. So what I did is I took my impact, screwed down the nut a little bit more to where maybe there was just a couple threads off, and lightly tapped. Boom, 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 and it popped loose. So now, as you can see, the steering wheel is loose off of there, and it should come off no problem. At this point, the steering wheel is off, and as you can see, we just have the airbag lines coming out. That's the clock spring. Don't screw with it. Just put your steering wheel back on. Make sure when you do this, you have your steering wheel straight. Don't have it locked where it's at an angle. Get it unlocked, upright, straight, and then remove it. That way when you put the new one on, it goes on straight. So at this point, we got to move the components from the old one to the new one. There's screws right here. You're going to take those off, and that'll remove these pieces. And then you've got your cruise control over here stem that's going to come out and move to the new one. Okay, at this point, the 4 screws have been removed, and both of these come out. Now, we're going to do the cruise control stem, and then we're going to have to remove the back plastic cover and this to go on to the new steering wheel. Okay, so we have this off now, and it's only clips that hold it on. You just push these aside with your finger, and this slides off the back of it, and then it's going to slide on and clip to the new steering wheel, and then everything's just in reverse. All right, there we are. So everything reversed, and you know, when you get these on, you may need to push a little to get them to squeeze in. It's kind of a tight fit, nothing crazy. But man, looks nice. All right, let's get it back in. All right, got her back in, straight. I put it over, one notch over on the spline to see, and it was off, so this was definitely where I was, dead center. Now you're just gonna hook up your airbag again, and everything like I showed in the video, and there you go. You got yourself a new leather wrap steering wheel.